Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Philippines, and good evening here in the US. This is your Pinay teacher, Annie, again. And we're live right now, and we're doing this in order for you to be prepared when you arrive here in the US. I am just waiting for our guest today, and I hope that we will have enough. We will be educated and we have enough knowledge about you being a teacher here in the US. So I'm going to send him a message that we're live right now, and I hope you will stay put and stay as we are doing live right now. So give me one sec, please. So as of the moment, we have one viewer. So I will really appreciate it if you can type your name so I can give you a shout out. And I will really appreciate it as well if you can give a thumbs up or share this video. And I think we have our guest right now. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening here in the Philippines. And it's 7 o'clock your time in New Mexico, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's 6 o'clock here, my time in Arizona. And before we start, maybe you want to introduce yourself to our viewers so that they will get to know you as well.
All right, so good morning, Philippines. Good evening, America. So, by the way, I am RP Castellone from New Mexico. So, I am a special education teacher here, and I am
Mm.
handling middle school students, and I'm teaching English and mathematics.
Wow. Salute for the math teachers.
Yes, I love math. Yes, ma'am.
Don't talk to me when it comes to numbers, sir. But anyway, we're in New Mexico to be exact, sir.
Oh yeah, so I'm here at Albuquerque, New Mexico. So this is
Oh,
like it looks like a city.
hmm,
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
usually when you go to New Mexico, that's the place where the plane, the airports, Albuquerque.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've been to New Mexico for maybe 5 times, but I did not want to go back there if it's a road trip. It's a long drive from Arizona, I think,
Oh,
8 to 10
I saw your
hours.
postings. You have a lot of, you are roaming around in the world in
Oh yeah,
America.
because of course we're not going to stay here. I mean, me, I'm a J1 visa. I'm on a J1 visa, so I'm not going to stay. So if I have the time, then go. And it's summertime, so that's why. Because after school days, we can't go anywhere. We are just focusing on our teaching career.
Yeah, me too, ma'am.
And
I'm a J1 teacher too.
well,
Hello,
well,
ma'am. Sherilyn.
the experience that we got, that we get here, and the experience of teaching and meeting different kinds of students, different kinds of people. And that's why we're here tonight, because we're going to help those teachers, being prepared, not to have culture shock. They may have culture shock, but at least to minimize the culture shock, because I myself had a culture shock when I get here. That was 4 years ago, and yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah. So, viewers, we will turn your negative culture shock into positive. Don't worry.
Yes, hopefully. Yes, hopefully. And we have I just would like to, shout out June, watching from Aklan. A shout out naman po. Yes, sir, June. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching us tonight. I mean, in the morning in the Philippines. And we also have Miss Sherilyn. Hello, Teacher Anne and
Hello.
Sir Castiglione. Is that how you say your last name, sir?
Actually, ma'am, my name is RP Castellone. But when I
Okay.
came here in America, my co-teachers and students used to call me Mr. Castellone. So it was like
Yeah.
Americanized
The
surname.
American way, yeah, Americanized last name.
Yes.
I agree to that.
And I
And
love it.
yeah, well, of course, yeah.
Hey, Mr.
Even my last name,
Castellone.
even my last name, it sounds like Mexican. Cuevas in the Philippines, but then my students used to call me Cuevas. So okay, whatever it is, as long as you have the right spelling of my name. And we also have Miss Michaela. Hello, hello po. And we also have Hazel Ann. Maayong aga Philippines.
Ah,
And
anong
but
salita yun, ma'am?
Mayong aga, that's Hiligaynon. I'm from Negros Occidental.
Hmm.
Where are
Yes,
you in the Philippines to be exact, sir?
I'm from Pililla Rizal province, so it's like pure Tagalog, right?
Oh, okay. Tagalog. Yeah, when I came here in the US, I learned how to speak Tagalog.
Oh, I watch every time I saw your post, your video. So wow, I like Mom Annie because you speak so well in English. So,
Oh, no. Well,
woo.
I'm an ELA teacher,
So I
so
was
that's why.
thinking, are you Bisaya? Because most of the Bisayan teachers here are good in English.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Kasi, wow,
Well,
galing mo na ni Mom.
but because of course, I've been here for 4 years. I mean, I may sound like I know how to speak English, but sometimes I got intimidated as well facing, the local teachers here. But you have to fake it until you make it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
because I'm a Neil
so
8 teacher. So.
I'm still new here because it's my 11 months here. So I'm gonna be my first anniversary on August 8th. So
Yay! Yes,
I
so
made
it's
it.
still fresh. It's still fresh, 11 months. And I remember on my 11th month, on my third month, I wanted to go back in the Philippines because of the experience that I had. So that's why I made this Facebook group. I made this YouTube channel, but sometimes I'm too lazy to edit the videos. But I'm doing this for our fellow teachers as well. We did not want them to get up from deathbed, but we want to share, the all the good stuff that we have here in the US.
Mm.
Yes, and I have one of my students, Monica Mayong Aga. That's Mayong Aga. That's good morning. That's good morning. In our terms, we also have Miss Honey. Hello, Miss Annie and Sir RP, and oh, well, thank you, Michelle. She said that's the what I mean. Sometimes I blush every time I heard people saying that's one thing that they like, that I can't communicate, that I can't talk. But I'm telling you guys, I still sometimes my students, they also correct me.
Actually, ma'am, promise. Personally, when I saw your videos, yeah, same with Miss Sherilyn. Wow, I like Miss Annie the way she talks. She is very
Thank you so
fluent.
much.
Yes.
Yeah, nagbablush po ako every time I hear people saying that. Even the people that, where I came from my province. So they said, oh, you can, not to mention as well, before I practiced my career, uh, I used to work in one of the call centers in Bacolod. So that's, I was speaking with, well, no, actually 2 years, people from New York City. So that's why.
So that's serving your foundation. So that's why
Yeah.
you are very, very, very good, Miss.
Yeah, but then honestly, my students still, I'm telling my students, guys, if you think I mispronounce these words, tell me and correct me how I pronounce it.
Mm.
I mean, I admit it's not my native tongue. It's not my language. So I'm okay. I'm okay how you correct me, but just don't make fun of me. But
Yes.
they're aware that I'm from the Philippines, so that's why. But sometimes it's weird, even though I'm an ELA teacher and I'm reading the book, I still need to practice it the day before the lesson because I do not want to be, the laughing stock when you had your lesson. But anyway, Sir RP,
Miss, can I share your live now? Wait, I will just
sure,
share it
sure.
para mas marami tayong matulungan.
Yes. Well, actually, as you can see, there's 15 people. That's what you can see. That's on Facebook. But at the same time, I have this broadcast in YouTube as well. So the only viewers that you will see right now is I think it's through Facebook, but not including the YouTube. So most
Mm.
probably we will have like 1,000 viewers later on. Yeah.
Please watch us.
Yeah, because sometimes teachers cannot watch it right away. They might be doing something, but at the end of life, they will watch my
I will
YouTube
also
channel.
pray to my
Yeah,
messenger.
We also have Miss Geraldine. Hello po. We have Abigail. Hello po, viewing from Cagayan de Oro. We also have Elizabeth. Hello to everyone. And Miss Laura, watching from Negros Oriental. Good evening, Miss Annie and Sir RP. I believe Miss Laura will be coming here. Will be joining us in the U.S. very, very soon. She will be at Maricopa Unified School District. And Miss Sheila, good morning. And we also have Sir Alfie, teacher. Hi, hello, Sir Alfie.
Hello
He will be
po.
joining us as well here in the U.S. very soon. He got his I believe he's just waiting for his CFO sticker, and
Mm.
he will be teaching in Texas. Yes. So, Sir RP, can you tell us first what challenged you to teach here in the U.S.?
Actually, ma'am, to be honest, so I started applying here in US way back 2019. So
Okay.
it's a long process because I came here last 2021. So it's been like 2 years and 4 months to be exact before
Mm-hmm.
I hired. Before I was hired. Then parang ang naramdaman ko nung ma'am, I was questioning myself. Can I make it? Am I not good enough?
Mm-hmm.
Ano bang kulang sa akin? What's the problem with my resume? Bakit wala nag-i-interview sa akin?
Mm-hmm.
So, originally, I'm an elementary teacher back in the Philippines. So, I've been teaching there for 11 years.
Wow.
Then, one of my friends and my agency told me na, why not to take special education units while waiting for your turn?
Mm-hmm.
So, nag-start ako mag-take ng units, ma'am, ng SPED. Then, when I got like 24 units, then I started applying as a special education teacher. Then in just 3 days, I was hired. So what? Ang bilis. Kaya
Yeah.
I am encouraging everyone to please, if you are waiting for your turn, earn special education units, then try to apply as a special education teacher.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to advise, my previous videos because um, special ed and math and science is actually, you always have a big break here in the US.
Yes.
I am an ELA teacher. I was just lucky to be hired, maybe. But right now, this year started, no, actually it started last year, that they have a lot of openings because a lot of local teachers resigning because of the pandemic and everything. But yes, I myself, I am thinking of getting a special ed units. But I
Mhm.
thought, when someone told me that I can enroll myself for special ed, I thought you will not be hired as a special ed teacher if you do not have an experience of handling special
Yeah,
ed.
so let me share my strategy why why I was hired here. So what
Okay.
I did, since I have experience back in private school for 2 years, then that time I remember that we have this inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yes.
I just put it in my experience in that school that I'm an elementary teacher slash inclusive education teacher because I have
Okay.
experience. So during my interview, I just shared it to the interviewers that I have the experience. But back in the Philippines, originally I'm elementary teacher, so I'm handling sixth grade. So kaya
Okay.
hinay nila ako dito ng middle school kasi sixth grade is part of the middle school, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, and I was hired as English teacher. So I was like, what? I'm not that good in English. That's my parang challenge, ma'am. Kasi oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, so I have to push myself to learn the English, to speak thoroughly, to speak fluently because I will be working with students, who are
Mm-hmm.
speaking is English speaker. So yung
Yeah,
ginawa
and
ko.
of course, it's a challenge
Then
because you're not good in English and you're going to
oh
teach
yes, ma'am. Then
English
I was
speakers.
like, when I got here, it just so overwhelming because the America is not that kind of country that are judging you the way you talk, the way you use the English. When it comes to
Mhm.
grammar, they are not judger. Talagang
Judgment free.
yeah, hindi sila nagja-judge. For as long as you can communicate, then you are good enough.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'd like it here too. I mean, maybe it's our culture. I mean, I'm not sure because in the Philippines, English is not our language, but then we are trying to be an English speakers, right? And then suddenly you hear someone grammar is incorrect, spelling is a big deal. Though here Sometimes even professionals are not really good at spelling because they don't mind that because it's their language. They understand each other. And yes, if you are not well spoken and then you're talking to the locals, they will not, I mean, they will get what you mean, even
I,
though that's what I notice when I am explaining myself. I'm explaining sentences, five sentences, but then when they say it, they can just say it in one sentence,
yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
No,
So sometimes every time I'm talking with them, so it's like, uh-huh, uh-huh. I explain a lot. Pero sa kanila is just one sentence lang. That's enough.
that's right. That's right. And then, but they get the thought, even though you explain it so long. Yeah, because we Filipinos, we love to use flowery words,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yes, and
Me
then
too sometimes.
we
Every
love
time
those
I talk, oh my God,
highfalutin
I'm
words.
getting flowery now. So,
Yes, highfalutin words, but then actually we don't really need that when you're talking to the locals. The simplest words that they can use. Well, sometimes they use extravagant words as well, but then not too often, especially when they're doing the lesson, because sometimes, I mean, teachers, if you get here, sometimes don't be surprised that your students will not really understand the words that you're talking about because you may think it's an English word, but then some of them may not understand it,
yeah.
right? One time in my class, I was talking to I mean, I'm doing my lesson, and then I told them, if you have questions, you do it one at a time because I could not entertain your questions right away, and they were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"What do you mean entertain? You're not entertaining us." Oh, I mean, I cannot answer each one of you right away. So that's what I mean with entertain. So that's why they don't know sometimes how to play words. So they are using exact words.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Let's go back to the question. What's my challenge? Challenges
Yes.
here. Honestly, when
So
I
what made
came
you
here,
decide? What made you decide to go
oh,
here
what?
in the US?
To be honest, the reason why I decided to work here because my life as a public school teacher in the Philippines is like the cycle of my salary is the same. Loan, utang, bayad, loan, utang, bayad, loan, utang. So
Mhm.
that's real. I mean that's the real scenario.
Honest.
Then
Yes.
I was waiting for my promotion because I finished my master's degree way back 2016. Then 2021 na. Sa totoo lang, dumating yung promotion ko ng teacher 3, nasa eroplano na ako, ma'am. Ano, tatalon ako para
Correct.
ma-experience ko ang teacher 3.
Correct.
Anyway, I'm heading to my big opportunity. So,
Correct.
that's honestly, ma'am, that's yung scenario ng aking sweldo. Then, I'm breadwinner of the family. So, parang kulang talaga siya. So, takot ako dati mag-abroad, ma'am. Kasi ako dati, I don't want to work abroad kasi I know the feeling of being OFW because my brothers are and sister are working there. Tapos, minsan nga mukha na nga tayong tanga kati TikTok kasi that's our mode, way of, getting out from boards or something like boredom, something like that. So, ayun, ma'am. Then that's my
Yeah.
reason. Then when I came here, then I told to myself na RP, you will be working in America. So you have to came out from your comfort zone. Then remember, you are talking with English speakers. Practice. RP will be working with international teachers. Be
Hmm.
good. RP, you will be working with different environments. So, be flexible. Something like that. Lagi ko nire-remind yung sarili ko na I have to do that, I have to do this kasi nga magiging iba yung dito. But, when I came here, wala naman akong bad na culture shock na ganyan. More on positive lang ako. Kasi I'm a positive person na kung merong pangit, ma'am, iti-take yan as positive way para mas ma-overpower yung negative ng positive. So,
Hmm.
when it comes to my school, I don't have problem. I like the school staff, my students. They are very respectful. Then the number one connotation of Filipino applicants, they are afraid of the behavior of the students here. So I'm telling you, as a teacher, you should know. I mean, managing the behavior of your student is part of your job. So we are exposed to that. So wag kayong matakot. Kung ano yung mga bata dyan, bata rin sila dito. the way you manage them there, i-manage mo rin sila ng ganun. For as long as na you are not going
Consistent.
beyond yung yung mga rules na tama at mali. So just be professional lang po. Kumbaga kung
Mhm.
professional tayo dyan sa Pilipinas, doblehin nyo lang dito kasi you are working in a different part of the world. So siyempre
Yes.
mag-ingat din tayo.
Given it's given that they have here in the US we have we have different students, right? The behavior it's different,
Ay,
right?
Sir Crams ba yun? Si
Yeah, that's
Omswell?
Sir Proms. I
Hello,
actually
sir.
invited him one time. So he said, nice to see you both in the same screen. You know each other?
Oh yeah, he was the one who interviewed me for his like dissertation something thesis.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he graduated already, his PhD.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to sir.
Hello, Sir Crumbs. Thank you for watching us tonight. I believe he's in the Philippines. He went home and attended his graduation.
Mm,
Yes. And going
congratulations.
back to what we were talking about, the behavior of the students, yes, it's different. It's different given the fact that you will be teaching in not liberated country, but the country, a country with, everything is free and not really free, but they have different mindset than Filipinos.
Yeah.
We have different cultures and they have different cultures. So behavior wise, yes, they're different, but then it still it still depends on you. How consistent you
Yes.
are with your classroom management. First year is really tough. First year is really, really tough because of course it's different. But then you will get used to it. You will get to use especially for middle school. You just need to know how to um, you know, pick your battles. If you
Yes.
need to do that, if you need to do this, go. If you don't need to do that, then don't. Right. So,
Mhm.
but in my case, I'm an ELA teacher. We have state testing. So I'm kind of strict when it comes to, when I'm doing my lesson. But we have time to goof off and everything. But then if I'm doing my lesson, don't interrupt me. So
Yeah.
it's up to you if you want to have because my aim is to have good scores in AZ merit and state testing. Though it's not really the teacher in my district is not really reliable for whatever the score, but still you want to have good scores, right? Because you're working for the district. So whatever the result, it's still on you, even though they're not taking it back to you.
Yeah, you're exactly, ma'am. So the I mean the behavior management always depends on us teachers. So
Hmm.
kung sa tingin ninyo ay very challenging siya, so before you go here, build your I mean magkaroon ka na ng mindset mo kung paano mo siya i-aatakihin dito. Kasi
Yes.
it's really different when it comes to, if you're going to compare the American students and the Philippine students, they are different. But I know as a teacher, you have the skills to manage that. You have the power to, own your classroom, then make it your own, basta in a
Mhm.
positive way.
Yes. So to wrap up, Sir RP, you said you were an elementary teacher in the Philippines for 11 years. You have
Yeah.
2 years experience in private school.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, because you applied 2019, but no one hired you, you question yourself. So you decided to get units in SPED.
Yeah.
And then after 3 months, right?
No, yeah, man. No, I completed my 24 unit in special education for 1 year.
Hmm.
Then after 1 year, still looking for a school. So, ang ginawa ko, ma'am, nag-push pa rin ako. Nag-enroll ako ng masteral ng SPED habang
Okay.
nag-aantay.
All right.
Then when
So you have two masters. You have two
yeah, so
masters then. Regular.
matatapos na siya this coming next bakasyon sana
Okay.
So,
That's
I'm
good.
I'm starting loving the special education kasi I'm SPED na here. So,
You're
ini-embrace ko
embracing
na
it.
siya, ma'am. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, as of now, I'm still studying and finishing my master's degree in special education. Before, nung kumpleto na yung 24 units ko, kasi sabi ng agency ko na, RP, you need 24 units before you qualify to be a special education teacher here. Though I have 24, more than 24. So, send me your TOR, dali mo dito sa Amerika, padala mo, ipapa-spantran ko, then mag-apply ka na. Pero nag-apply ako na hindi alam ng agency ko kasi nga, Parang nawawalan na ako ng pag-asa. Ano ba yan? Agency ko, 2 years, something
What's
like
your
that.
agency, if you don't mind?
So I'm very happy with my agency. It's Job Connects USA. So if you
Mhm.
are looking for agency, you can also contact them. They have a Facebook page. So message me. I can send you the link. Yun, ma'am. So parang nawalan ako ng pag-asa. Then nag-apply ako ng sarili ko. Nag-apply ako, ma'am. Na-hired ako dito gawa sa sarili ko. Nag-apply ako sa Indeed.com.
Okay.
Then,
Yeah.
tas binago ko lahat ng resume ko, ginawa ko ng special education teacher / elementary education teacher. Dual na kung saan nila ako tanggapin. Go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because
luckily,
we Filipinos, we find ways.
yeah. So, in just 3 days, ma'am, I got a job offer. What? Special education is something.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
And a
I am
high school,
encouraging everyone to take or earn special education units.
yeah, high school in math and science, it's a big deal for them. No one wanted to teach here, math because it's different. It's different. So congratulations for getting a job for being a
Yes.
special ed teacher. So Job Connect, is that a base in the Philippines or based in
Like,
Mexico? Where
based sila dito sa US, but the owners are Filipinos.
Okay. Well, yeah, usually the agencies are like that. I actually encountered it's funny, but then there are actually people that are against with agency. I mean, I don't want to say this live, but there's actually one person in the Facebook group that he is really, not, he doesn't really, I mean, he doesn't really agree to get an agency because he said the agency is asking too much, agency is doing that, blah 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 blah, and everything. But then I defended myself because I'm also I mean, I went here because of an agency as well. It's different, though. Yes, you can save if you don't have an agency. You can
Yes.
save, and like if you have, but then the pros of having an agency is because you are not going to ask a favor from someone because time difference, you have to consider that. And I myself, if my friends will ask me, can you do this for me, can you help me in evaluating papers and everything, I can't because I do not have time for that. But with the agency, they will help you. It's a lot of money, but then they're doing their job, right?
So, ma'am,
And
personally, if I'm going to apply again after my program, kasi in my case, parang kaya ko na siyang maging direct hiring kasi I have my experience
yeah,
already. But if
yeah,
you are new, look
yeah.
for agency that will guide you to
Of
be here.
course. Because if it's your second time already, you can handle it because you know the workarounds already. You have already your teaching certificate. What you just need to do is to look for a better, school that you want. If you want to go back in your previous school, that's fine. If you want to explore something new, then go ahead, right?
Yes.
And you have your fans here. Vanessa Ray goes here.
Hello, Vanessa.
RP. And Sherlyn said, Sir RP, can you share with us
Sure.
your
Message me,
resume?
ma'am. I can share mine. Message me.
So yeah, Sir RP is very generous to share his resume. I actually made one. I had a video in my YouTube channel how to make your resume, so you can also check that. But yes, you can message Sir RP as well about his resume if
Yeah,
you
if
want
you
to.
need a reviewer, I have to. If
Yeah.
you
So
need
yeah.
template for BOE, I have to. I can share it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, just
Actually,
message.
ma'am, the reason why I accept this, invitation, kasi I love Miss Annie because her goal is to help Filipino applicants by answering the question. So we have the same goal, Miss Ma'am Annie. I mean, parehas tayo ng tinatake. Sabi ko, I have my small YouTube channel too. I shared information how to be here. Then I also share my documents. Kahit may information ko yan, bahala kayo yan, basta gamitin nyo lang sa tama. Ganun lang
Yes.
sinasabi ko.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's some one time it just pop up that maybe I'll make my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll do Facebook group, blah blah blah. But then sometimes I get too busy that I
Mhm.
cannot make a video. I could not answer. So That's why sometimes I answered late already. Sometimes it took me 2 days to answer, sometimes 3 days or a week. But then that's why I made this Facebook page so that not, those people that we help in return, if they're here already, they can answer the questions. So
Yes, exactly, ma'am.
yes.
So, sabi ko sa
Yeah.
kanila, sa lahat ng mga lumilipad na ngayon, kasi meron akong mga subscribers po na lumilipad na, nasa aeroplano na. Please,
Yeah.
when you get here, return
The
the
favor.
help by helping others, sabi ko.
Yeah, I posted that one time in the page that I got too busy sometimes. So share the knowledge, share the information that they have as well before, because I remember a long time ago when I came here, there's really no enough videos, there's really no enough information, but what I did is just read and read and read. But then for those incoming teachers here to teach in the US, you're so lucky, there's a lot of videos of it. There's a lot of Filipino teachers doing their YouTube channel to help you with. I'm not earning anything, although I have my what you call
I
that. I
salute you
have
for
my
that,
ad.
Miss.
I
Yes.
have my advertisement already in YouTube, but then it's not enough because you were thinking that, oh, she has already her what you call it, advertisement. Maybe she get paid to that. No, because with the problem, I mean, with YouTube channel is, yeah, you reach 1,000 subscribers right away. You get your advertisement, but they have certain numbers you need to meet in order for you to get money from them. And then the first you can get the money first $100, but it's, I
Oh,
mean, until now I did not get any $100. So
it's hard. So,
yeah.
akala nila, oh, mayaman ka na because you have your YouTube channel, you are earning dollar. Hello. Kung alam niyo
Yeah.
lang, J1 teachers are not allowed to do the YouTube, something like that, and earn. So, sabi ko, ma'am, my YouTube channel is monetized already, pero hindi ko siya in-apply for a payment. I-kinlose ko muna yun para hindi siya ano yun, AdSense ba yun, ma'am?
Yeah,
So,
AdSense.
hindi ko siya in-apply for that kasi nga saka na lang 'pag nasa Pinas na ako. I'm
Yeah.
taking care of my, G1 visa kaya
Yeah, but and of course, not to mention we're J1 visa. If you will get paid from YouTube, it's taxable.
ay
And if you're a J1 visa, you are not going to earn money. You should not earn money
mhm,
aside from teaching,
yes.
right?
So that's
So
why
that's why.
yeah, it's like ano, our mode of, engaging ourselves from different, people, ganyan.
Yeah.
Libangan kumbaga, yes.
That's why I think there was 2 years ago, I was so lazy not to make any videos, not to do live and everything. And YouTube messaged me, do you still want to go on? Or if not, we're going to remove your advertisement. And they actually removed the advertisement. So
Mhm.
that's why. But it's okay. I'm not doing this for the sake of money. I just don't know. It's just that maybe I wanted to help Filipino teachers to come over here. I was with them for 2 years only, and then
Mhm.
I said, no, I don't like it here. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go. I mean, I was 4 years in BPO call center, and then I
Mm.
had 1 year experience in private school, and then 1 year volunteer teacher, and then 2 years, and then after that I fly because I said no. I'm not gonna make it here for 2 years. I was with junior high for 1 year, and then uh, senior high on my second year, and then after that I flew 2018. And we have from Sir June. Hello, Sir RP. Can you give us a link of your Facebook and YouTube channel?
Oh,
Thanks.
sure. Message me, message me.
Yeah, so maybe you can share. Your Facebook name is just the same, the spelling
Yeah,
that you have here,
yeah,
Sir
that's
RP,
my name,
right?
RP Castalone. Yeah.
Yes.
Castalone.
Yeah, so if you want to message him, so yeah, take a look with this is the same Facebook name that he had in on his YouTube, I mean Facebook channel. I
Oh, I
mean,
like this one. A tandem of guru, more powers. Thank you so much, Mommy Yolene Flores. Have you heard this one?
yeah,
Oh,
Sir
I like this.
Sir Alfie said yes, there's a threshold. That's right, because Sir Alfie has his YouTube channel as well.
Mm.
And a shout out naman po, Facebook user. Yes, shout out. But then we
Shout
don't know.
out sa iyo, whoever you are, shout out.
And we have Miss Yolin, Miss Tandem of Guru. More powers and blessings to both of you. Miss Yolin is also applying, one of the teachers applying here, and she is looking forward to get an H1. I believe she was hired a
Mm,
time, but she
right.
declined whatever the reason. But then hopefully she gets another job. All right. And so, Sir
That's
Arby, for your 11 months of staying here in the US, what was the most challenging,
oh
if you
yeah.
can remember?
As personally, when it comes to when it comes to work, I don't have problem. I don't have challenge because I love teaching. I don't have any job teaching only. So kahit mahirap ito, walang problema sa akin kasi I love teaching. So, I was trained in public. So, kumbaga, in my 8 years in public, pagdating ko dito, yung mga work dito, ganun-ganun na lang kasi nasanay na tayo sa public. Pero my personal challenge, sometimes, because I'm living here in my house, I'm the only teacher here. I'm the only boarder. So sometimes I got bored. But thank you for the Facebook, social media. I was able to, escape from
TikTok.
boredom. Yeah, wala
Yeah.
naman akong problema, ma'am. Ayun lang yung naging problema ko talaga, ma'am. As in, minsan, yung 'pag
Homesick.
naboboring ka lang, kaya minsan,
Homesick.
"Tama na, nasasawa na kami sa TikTok mo." It's your
Hmm.
problem. It's my social media.
Yes, that's right. Then
So
unsubscribe me, right?
so far,
Unsubscribe.
ma'am, I don't have problem when it comes to work. Then when it comes to a Filipino community here, wala rin akong problema. Just be friendly, guys. Tapos, yun lang naman. Pero yung boredom, actually, hindi naman siya literal na problema kasi I'm a person who can be independent. I'm open with a big circle of friends. Kahit ako nag-iisa dito, walang problema. Kasi tulad niya, sa social media lang, buhay na ako. Kumbaga kaya YouTube lang, TikTok, then nag-aaral o maraming bagay para maging busy,
to
para
to keep
makatakas
you
sa
busy.
boredom. Yeah.
So you're renting a room.
Yes. So the owner of this house are Filipino as well, so walang problema. Kaya
Okay.
hindi siya nakaka-boring kasi may Pilipino naman akong kasama. So
How
tatlo
did
kami
you
rito,
find the
limang
house?
ha?
How did you find the house?
Yeah. When I came here, wala pa akong bahay. Tumira muna ako sa mga agency ko na teacher. Tumira ako for 5 days. Then, my agency look for me. Tapos yung kanyang liaison officer dito na, oh, hanapin mo si RP, wala pa daw bahay yun eh. Hanap mo ng bahay. So tapos,
Yes.
hinanapan ako nung liaison namin na mas malapit sa school ko. Kasi ma'am, take note, for 5 days na nag-over ako for 1 week, parang $400 agad. What? Parang
Yes.
$40
Yes.
ako isang way pa lang, 40. Ano yun?
That's right.
Kasi
That's right.
naghihirap ako, ma'am. So, when I got here, sabi ko, sige, 10 minutes away lang ako sa school ko dito, kaya ang laki ng savings ko. I mean, malaki yung na-save kong,
So
gastos sa
are
Uber.
you walking or someone's doing carpool for you?
Yeah, carpool ako, $150 a month. So, napaka-manageable na yun. Kung mag-Uber ka
That's
for
enough.
100. So,
That's
yeah.
enough. That's enough. Yeah.
At saka, we are one family here, kaya hindi ako din naboboring kasi share kami sa food. Sa lahat ng kinakain nila, kinakain ko rin. Ako yung
Yeah.
nagluluto. I love cooking, kaya no problem.
Yeah. Um,
No problem, promise.
that's one of the pros as well. If you have an agency, that if you came here in the US, what you have is your suitcases, your luggages only. You don't have anything, right? But if you have an agency, they're going to make sure that you have a place to live in when you arrive
Exactly.
here. There's a place that you can sleep because of course you're still used to have your jet lag and everything. And that's one of, like I said, one of the things that you need to have, because you don't know anyone here yet. I mean, you're lucky if where you're going to teach, you have your friend that owns a house or someone that can help you looking for will help you to look for an apartment. Right now, there I mean there's a, like, for example, here in our district, I believe there's 12 teachers coming from the Philippines, and
Mhm.
my agency is actually looking for asking help from me to help look for an apartment. And it's difficult if you are, especially the way how it works here in the US. If you want to get an apartment, they are going to run your credit score. So,
Mm.
how are they going to do your credit score? You need to have your SSN. So, your SSN, you don't have it yet until you get here. Now, they're asking for that number because they need to run the credit score because supposedly how it works here is 1 month deposit, 1 month advance. So that's why it's not so easy if you don't have an agency sometimes. And who's going to pick you up at the airport? Not all the
Yes.
people has all the time to pick you up, especially if school starts already, right? So if you have an agency, though you're going to pay for them, but it's worth it. You don't have all you just need to do is um, how are you going to manage your classroom? You're not going to think of where are you going to stay, who's going to pick me up at the airport, who's going to do this, who's going to do that for me. Plus carpool. I experienced that as well before carpool. I mean, it's four of us, the house where we lived before. Every time we have a stop, we need to pay $5 each. So, for example, four of us going to school, that's $5. Going
Mhm.
back to our house, it's $5 as well. But on our way home, for example, someone wanted to go to Walmart or, go shopping, get some groceries. We have to pay $5. And
Oh.
even though there's only one person who will get out, that needs someone to buy something at Walmart, each one of us, four of us need to pay the $5 fee.
Mm.
So even though, it's only him who went to Walmart, or it's only him who asked to go to Walmart because he needs to buy something, but because all of you get out, because of course you cannot stay inside the car. So each one of us needs to pay $5 as well. So it's more likely $15. So when one of our roommates, he's a teacher as well, on his first salary, because he has a car back in the Philippines, so right away he looked for a used car, I mean, reliable car. And then that's where we had our carpool. We paid $150 as well for the carpool, but that's going back to school, and then if we need to go shopping, or, I mean, go groceries, get some groceries, and if we have an appointment. But right now, I believe $150 is not enough because of the gas. Right now, it's too expensive,
Mhm.
right? So um, that's why I'm explaining sometimes to the teachers coming here, you should get ready of yourself, because yes, we're earning dollars, but we're paying for our carpool, we're paying for our car, I mean,
Yeah.
for our house. And then unlike in the
We are
Philippines,
using dollar money.
even though in the Philippines our salary is not that big, but we're not paying for our house, we're not paying for our car, right? But still, we have the chance to go shopping and experience the good stuff that we don't have in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, alam mo ang kagandahan sa school ko Walmart. So,
That's good.
pag-uwian ko, magmamamalengke na ako ng Walmart tsaka uuwi. So, I don't know,
So
I'm
it's
so
your go,
blessed here.
yeah, it's your go-to stop.
Bago ako magpunta dito, ma'am, actually, I have a group of friends na sa Arizona sila lahat. Ako lang yung nahiwalay dito. Oh my God, ako lang
Oh,
nahiwalay. So, I was
where
thinking,
are they in Arizona?
ha?
Where are they in Arizona?
In Phoenix.
Oh, in Phoenix. Well, it's too hot in Phoenix. It's too hot here in my
Yeah,
place.
I've
You're
been there
lucky
for
it's
like
only
5 days.
52.
It's too hot. So, let's go back to the New Mexico. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sometimes in my place we reach 128 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm.
So
Saan ka
you're
pala,
okay.
ma'am? Anong state ka, ma'am,
I'm
hanapin?
I'm here in Bullhead. It's 5 minutes away to Nevada. So I'm near
Mm.
Vegas, an hour and a half away to Vegas. So but it's hot in here. It's 128 degrees. Last year we reached 128 degrees Fahrenheit. It's too hot. So you're okay there in ABQ.
Ay, yes, ma'am. Kasi ano naman dito, para sabi ng co-teachers ko, the snow here is not that, hindi siya madalas.
Yeah.
Kasi minsan ano
And
lang, once a year, minsan wala pa daw. Pero
yeah.
itong pagdating ko dito parang mga more than 4 times. So, kasi I was asking for a snow. Snow, come here. I wanna see you. Something like that. So, yeah, bigyan ako ng 4 times of snow.
Yeah, because of the pandemic last time, here in my place there's no snow as well, but 45 minutes away there's Kingman, and it's snowing there sometimes. And because of the pandemic last time, that we had the home quarantine and then we had the mask, no one's allowed to get out, so maybe the environment got cleaner and everything, so that's why it snowed in Kingman as well for 2 days, and that's why you got snow in ABQ. And ABQ is somehow the same in the Philippines, right? It's
Ay,
humid. It's
Yeah,
humid though, and but it's not that hot.
yeah. Ma'am, may
Yes.
questions dito si ma'am. Baka
Hmm.
lang, baka parang kaya-kaya mo 'to sagot kasi you have your family, right?
Yeah. Is it practical to bring along your family even if you're just hired as a J1? It's up to you. You have it depends with your salary. It depends with, but I would recommend that, especially if you're J1 and you don't know what's your environment looks like, right? You don't know how it looks like. Where is the school? I mean, how about you? You don't have a car yet, especially if it's your first time here. What about my son or my daughter? Where are they going to, to school? You're lucky if your child can go to the school where you're going to teach. But if not, consider the fact that you don't have a car. Who's going to pick you? Who's going to give your children a ride? So that's extra money that you need to pay for the carpool. Yes, they have school buses here in the US, but sometimes there are places that it's not the bus stop. The kids need to walk going to the bus stop. And sometimes 5 o'clock here, there are times that 5 o'clock is still dark. You don't want your kids to be walking alone there going to the bus stop, right? And I myself, my son, it's tough. I mean, I have my two kids here, and then we only have one car. So my son is going to a different school. My youngest son's going to a different school as well. I'm going to different school as well. So sometimes if there's like parent teacher conference, there's early out, there's early release. So even though we're in the same district, but then we have different,
Okay.
that you early release. So my youngest son will have to be released at 12:30. My eldest will have to be released at 1 o'clock. So time management. And what about me? So because I'm the oldest, I mean, I'm the one that's mature, then I'll be the one to stay. I'll be the one to wait. So you have to consider that the transportation as well.
Yeah.
But then if you think you can handle that, I have one of my colleagues here. She was with her what do you call this? She was with her family when they came here, but because they already planned it out on their first salary as well, they got their car, so that's not a problem with them. So if you think you can handle it, so go ahead, but then still you have to consider your salary as well.
Yeah, miss. As for me, ma'am, Jocelyn Bongok, I would suggest na you go here first, then after 6 months, get your family. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what my
that's
recommendation to all
usually.
my, yeah.
Yeah, usually that's what they're doing. Or if you want, you can have your J2 as well interview together with you, but then just go alone on your first year. And then on the second year, if you were able to adjust already, plus the money, plus you have the apartment or you have the house already, and that's the time that you have your family with you. I know it's hard. I myself, I went here. I had my youngest son for his 1 year old in 6 months. Yes, that's difficult though. So it's really hard, but it's up to you. It's a risk. So whether you have to decide. You have to talk it to your husband, because it's not only you. You should decide. So and then you don't know what's the environment looks like, all right? And
Exactly.
the carpool you have to get, because we don't
Yeah.
have enough public
Pagdating mo
transport.
dito, you have to look for the carpool. So, minsan, there's no availability of carpool. So, you have to consider that too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And carpool right now, like I said, gas is too expensive. It's almost $6 here in Arizona. I don't know in New Mexico. How much is the gas right now per gallon in New Mexico, Sir RP?
Oh, I don't have an idea actually. Kasi nawala ako sa sakit kaya di ako minsan. Pero, I don't know. Kung di ko alam, pero alam ko nagtataas na ngayon.
When I came here in Arizona, it's just $1.89. That was 2018. But right
Mm.
now it's almost $5 to be exact. And that $5, that's the gas before when I came here in California. California has high cost of living. So, but right now it's just, I mean, it's too expensive. It's $8 as well in California.
So, Teacher Annie, do you drive?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm.
I I learned how to drive here in the US.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and but I'm just so lucky because one of our what do you call this? No, there's a very long question that we're going to answer in a little bit, and no, I don't know how to drive in the Philippines. I was just so lucky that when I came here, one of the members of the church where I am with, she's bored, she's retired, and she
Mm.
offered us to teach how to drive. And but then I have to get my own car because if no one will let you borrow. No one will let you borrow their car because if they do and if there's car accident and then they're going to report it to their insurance will get high. So that's why. And we have here a very, very, very long question to
Yes.
RP. Let's see if we can answer this. This is from Miss Gabriela. Hello, Paul. I just want to ask a question. I really want to work in the US as a teacher. However, my career path is a bit confusing because I'm not an education graduate. I'm an IT graduate and only took educational units. When I am applying for a licensure examination, the PRC assessed that I will take social science since I have a
Bachelor's.
bachelor's degree in IT. Actually, I don't get it. Let me see if I can still forward this. Hold on.
Haba ng tanong mo eh.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Okay. Why? Oh my, I can't read it, Sir RP.
Okay.
When I apply for licensure examination, hold on, how do I?
Na-scroll up ba siya? Na-scroll down? Scroll.
Let's see here. Hmm. Sorry, Poha. Thank you so much. It's okay, ma'am, but we're trying to check this. And so I passed. Actually, I don't get it. Why social science too? So I passed the exam and currently my fourth year in public school. But honestly, I'm not that confident to teach social studies, and most of my teaching load is TLE and ICT. If I'm going to apply in the US, while will they focus more on my major or the subject I was teaching, or is it possible to also teach in elementary or kindergarten? Even my only teaching experience on my teaching experience
Is kindergarten?
is kindergarten. It is in secondary level.
Hmm.
Okay, so the question is, uh,
What subject are you going to?
she said she is not an education graduate, but she is IT, and she took educational units. You know the professional units.
I think Ma'am Gabrielle, kasi your bachelor's is IT, you can be a middle school teacher or high school focusing on TLE, I think. But the problem is your experience is primary. I'm not sure kung mako-consider siya as high school or middle school experience kasi dito sa US, mag apply ka dapat dito based on your bachelor's degree. So anong
It's
units po
not
yung tinake mo, ma'am?
experience.
Ano
It's
yung
yeah. Right now, she passed the exam and currently in her fourth year in public school. But honestly, I'm not that confident to teach social studies. So she's
oh,
teaching
for
right
some,
now. Yeah,
hmm.
she's teaching right now for 4 years. She's teaching social studies.
Oh,
But
yun, pwede yun.
but honestly, I'm not that confident to teach social studies, and most of my teaching load is TLE and ICT.
I see.
Oh,
So your
okay.
major contradicts your personal experience na present experience. So
Yes.
follow your credentials kasi dito sa US, susundin nila kung ano yung nasa credential mo. Like for example, your major is social science, so apply for social science position.
Mhm. Yeah, but then I'm just wondering as well. I'm confused as well because she said when she took the PRC, the assessment was that she needs to take social science. Even so, she's teaching right now for 4 years. PRC told her that she needs to get examination for social studies. So she passed the
Mhm.
exam. Teaching right now for 4 years in DepEd, but
Nasa
then she's
TLE.
teaching, yeah, TLE and ICT.
Mm.
Although the PRC told her social studies. But then, of course, she graduated as an IT. Okay, I have this. I understand. I get it that you have you have your professional education. You're not an education graduate, an IT graduate. Here's what, based from the experience that I knew from one of my friends. She's not an education grad. I mean, she is not really education as well, but I believe she is computer. She graduated computer engineering, and then later on she took 18 units in prof ed, and then after that she finished her master's degree in math. So when she applied here, uh, she was a senior high teacher in the Philippines for 2 years. So
Mhm.
she finished her master's degree focusing math because that's her her major, and she was hired here. So I think for this I may suggest you're an IT as well. So though the social studies, that's your major, I believe you can get off the track from the social studies major, just like with what Sir RP took, the special ed. So maybe you can get took you can get sped units, right? And then apply.
At saka alam mo Ma'am Gabriel, alam ko sa middle school at saka high school meron silang mga ano yung extra subject ma'am, mga
Yeah, they have their areas of the area that you like. For example, me, I'm an ELA teacher, but you need to have reading and literature as your specification. I forgot what's the term, but yeah,
anong tawag dun sa mga parang mga extra subject, parang mga intervention, something like that. They are
yeah.
focusing
So
on computer, so you can apply for that position, I think.
yeah, that's right. So, and then they don't really base here in the US from your experience as well, because I knew someone as well. He's teaching here she's teaching there in the Philippines as a high school teacher, but then he applied here in elementary, and because the school really liked him to be in the
Mhm.
school, they find ways, and he was able
Yeah.
to teach in
If the
elementary.
school wants you, talagang gagawa sila ng paraan para
Yes,
i-hire ka.
yes, that's right. And then if you're here already, and if you're here already and they really want you, they will just tell you to get, you know, take those
Certification.
exams. Yes, in order for you to be a certified teacher.
Yeah.
And yes, so I have my friend Ellen. She drove all over the US. Not really. Yeah, well, I visited her. She's from India, from Indiana. Hi Ellen, how are you? And yeah, so I hope we answered your question, Miss Gabrielle. And yeah, so she's
You're
asked,
welcome, Ma'am Gabriel.
yeah, ma'am and sir, can I bring my 21-year-old daughter? 21 years old? I don't think so,
Mhm.
because I have a friend. She had what you call this? She had her son for 3 months only. They his Her son passed the interview. He was 20 years old at the time. They came here, I believe, November or December, something like that. But then on his 21st birthday, May, he really came. He really went back to the Philippines. So he just spent here for 5 months, maybe, or 6 months. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we have Miss Josefina. Hello, sir and ma'am. And we have here a question. Do you know Miss Josefina?
No, Ma'am Josefina, if you want to earn SPED units, so I studied in Western College in Naik, Cavite. They are offering online classes. You can message me, then I will ask the school, then I will send it to you. Baka may
Okay.
pagbabago po kasi. But ano siya, it's a satellite school located in Santa Rosa, pero
Oh,
ang
are you
affiliated
referring
sila to
to Miss
Western College.
Gabriela? To Miss Gabriela, the one that has the IT.
Ah,
Are you referring to Miss
yes.
Gabriela?
I
Yes.
know. Ito, message na lang niya ako. Ma'am Gabriela, message me if you want SPED units too.
Yeah. And we have a question for Miss Josefina. How much for sped units?
And Dun sa pinag-aralan ko po ngayon, parang 16 to 17K per sem, 12 units na siya, 4 subjects.
It seems that I want to enroll, Sir RP.
Ma'am, go. I'm,
Okay.
I'm telling you I mean, I'm not sure or hindi ko alam sa ibang kasi basta I find it medyo masarap pagturo ng SPED kasi you are dealing with small I mean minimal number of students kaya medyo
I
handy
agree.
siya.
I agree. But then recently last year I had I don't know if you have that in New Mexico, but I have co-teaching. So I'm teaching regular students and at the same time this is like an experiment in our school because some part of East Coast they have this co-teaching. Co-teaching is you will be with one of the SPED teachers as well. So I'm an ELA teacher. So I have with me is one of the ELA SPED teachers as well, and together with my regular students, I have my SPED students as well at the same time. So that's for two. I mean, first period and my second period, that's co-teaching. So they were doing this experiment. They want to follow the one that they had in East Coast. If it will be successful, if the SPED students can work on with the regular students. Although I work on with the SPED students as well, but they're not SPED in ELA. They're just SPED in math, but they're not SPED in ELA. But right now, this go teaching, I'm teaching the regular student and teaching at the same time as well with the SPED students with ELA.
Yeah. Actually, ma'am, it happens gawa ng sometimes may school din talaga na kulang sila sa teachers. So,
Mhm.
I have a co-teacher na she is in a regular class. At the same time, she is catering special education unit. So, it's like dual, dual
Yeah.
job.
It's tough. It was actually my first time to do it, and also I'm with one of the teachers as well. I don't know how to deal with this. I with that situation, but later on as I go along, it's okay. I mean, I can work on with, and sometimes it's so fun to work with the SPED students. They're sweet. They're smart, and but then you just know how to manage them, especially with their behavior.
Nakakatuwa naman ang daming gusto mag-ano. Okay po sa lahat ng gusto mag-enroll ng units, message me. I will entertain you.
Yeah, you should get a referral from your school.
Yes.
Yes, and my friend Ellen said I heard that a lot of good money if sped.
May konting difference.
Yeah,
But not
konting
that
dip.
much.
Yeah, I mean enough, to extra to go shopping and everything.
Mm.
Yeah, so we have a question from Miss Yolin. Cebu, actually not a question, but Cebu Technological University and PIC are offering SPED online as well. 12 units per term, roughly 17K per term. So it's at the same in your school, Mr. RP?
No, my school located in Naik, Cavite, Western College University.
Mhm.
Western College Incorporated.
But I have
Pero
a question.
same,
I'm sorry. Sir, I have a question though. What about if I mean, are they aware that you're here in the US? Are you paying the amount the same as the students in the Philippines? Or are they asking you, extra because you're here in the US?
same with the Philippines, ma'am. In peso then. So,
But they
medyo
are
manageable
aware.
siya.
Yeah, but they are aware that you're here in the US.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Kaya
good.
kinoconsider din nila yung time ko pag may klase.
That's good. They're very considerate. And yes, we have a question from Sir Alfie. Are we allowed to take distance education from the Philippines? Yes.
Yes, definitely. Try it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
You can
actually, ma'am,
also.
yeah, I'm trying to finish my SPED master's degree kasi nangihinayang ako kahit na certified na ako dito as a SPED teacher. Nasimulan ko na kasi siya. So, after 1 year ko dito, nagbalik ako, gusto ko magpatuloy kasi parang nangihinayang ako kung hindi siya kumpleto. So, 1 year na lang naman, maging full-fledged na MA na siya ng SPED. So, yeah.
But that master's degree that you're taking right now, that's with thesis. That's with you need to
Yeah.
have the book. Okay.
And
All
it's
right.
a legit kasi na-spantran ko na siya.
That's
Kasi
good. That's
pag
good.
hindi niya tinanggap sa Spantran, meaning to say that's not accredited. So, Kapag ka-approve yan sa Spantran or West, that's legit.
Okay, yeah. Well, then maybe in my
Actually,
case,
ma'am, let me just share this one. Sa totoo lang, ma'am, nung hindi ako matanggap sa LM position, bago ako mag-enroll sa university, nag-enroll ako sa learning center. Alam mo,
okay.
mga fast track lang. In just 3 months, you have that EOR. Then I send it here in USA in my agency. Mr. Castellon, it's not accredited. Oh my God.
So
So
it's
be
not.
careful, guys. Pero
Mm,
hindi ako nanghihinayang doon kasi parang naging mode o parang naging foundation ko na siya sa special
mhm.
education. Ang dami ko natutunan doon. So hindi ako nanghihinayang. Anyway, that's 25,000 pesos. Hindi ako nanghihinayang kasi ang dami kong natutunan. So
Yeah,
luckily, I'm a sped teacher here. Then ina-apply ko ng lahat ng learnings ko doon.
yeah, that's right.
Pero hindi ako
Yeah,
tumigil. Nag-enroll ulit ako.
yeah,
Nag-enroll ulit ako.
of course. I mean, learning, we should not stop from learning,
At saka,
because every day we learn from experiences as well. And it's a good thing as well, someone is teaching us, right? And yeah, so thank you very much. It's from Sir Alfie. And Miss Yolin, one of my friends earned 36 units na gamit niya for FCE.
oh, so that's good. That's accredited already.
Yeah, so
Actually, ang mga viewers, yung number of unit or minimum number of units, it depends on the states. Kasi dito sa New Mexico, you have to earn 24 units of special education for you to qualify for teaching position as a sped teacher. Pero I'm not sure sa ibang state. Pero dito sa amin sa New Mexico, 24 units lang yung minimum for you to qualify as sped teacher.
yeah, and in New Mexico, your teaching certificate has leveling, like level
Yeah,
one,
level
level
1, level 2, level 3, then ano siya, 10 months yung ano niya.
Yeah, I have my New Mexico teaching certificate as
Mm.
well. That's for 10 years. So I applied 2018, I think 2017. So it will expire at 2027. But I'm here in Arizona, so I was unable to use that. But it's okay. It's just added to the credentials that I have. Yeah. So I have next. I mean, I have another question for you, Sir RP. But then your answer earlier, your most challenging is boredom. Because but then you were able to overcome it because of the education. You keep on educating yourself. You keep on learning, right?
Mhm.
And so another question is, what about your colleagues? How were you able to handle? How did they treat you? How did they
Okay,
welcome you
so
and
to
everything?
be honest, because I'm a friendly person, so during my first week, I always go to each classroom, then say hi, talk to them, something like that. Then I became friendly. Then they always, they find me like, oh, yeah, maybe Mr. Castellon is a good person because he's so friendly. He
Mhm.
likes talking. He likes talking with somebody, something like that. Then my principal is also, he likes me too, something like that. Parang wala nang problema. Tapos lahat doon, parang ay, hindi na nagmamayabang. Parang most of the students there like me. I want Mr. Castellon to be our substitute teacher, something like that. Ay, kami yung mga sped teacher, di naman tayo allowed basta mag-sub kasi nga meron lang tayong mga trabaho. Pero every time we don't have an extra teacher, my principal and the admin office put me there as substitute teacher. Then, yung mga estudyante, talagang kahit hindi sila klase, lilipat sa klase ko. Kasi parang kasi ma'am, ano ko, friendly, tapos masayahin lang. I'm jolly person. Hindi na, yung ayoko ng boring kasi sa klase. So, I'm making sure na every time I go to the classroom, masaya. Ayoko ng mga galit kasi ayoko ng stress, ma'am. Kasi alam mo,
Correct.
hindi may iwasang magalit, hindi may iwasang mabwisit. Pero ang style ko kasi, ina-enjoy ko lang. Basta love your students para hindi kayo ma-stress. Kasi once na your student feel you that that you love them, yung respect lalabas diyan, mamahalin ka din nila.
That's right. Like I said, pick your battles.
Yeah.
So those kids, they don't like strict teachers. They don't like that. They like teachers that can get along with them,
Yeah, and I
especially.
always I always bring Filipino food. Mr.
That's
Castellano,
good.
do you have Filipino food? Do you have
Yeah.
Pansy? Do you have Shanghai? Kasi
They love
kahit di ako
that.
magaling magluto, lab na lab nila, "Bahala kayo diyan basta nagluto ako."
Correct. Correct. They love Shanghai, they love pancit. And I'm telling you, I'm not a good cook as well in the
Mhm.
Philippines. But then the secretary in our school will always see if we have potluck day, she will say like, okay, you have to bring this, you have to bring lumpia. I said, I'll just teach you how to wrap it and you do it on your own so that that's the hardest time. The hardest part of
Yeah,
the Shanghai or the lumpia is to wrap. Yeah.
yeah. So
So you don't
personally
have
naman, yeah, I don't
yeah.
have any problem with my colleagues. So we are, sometimes they invite me for going outside and have a drink. No, I will join. So
Yeah.
like it's your way to mingle with them, to know them as well. So wala akong problema, ma'am.
Yeah,
Everyone
just
is there.
low key, do your work, do your job, be friendly. And then, we're not here to brag. We're not here to, oh, I know how to do that. Oh, I know how to do this, blah blah blah.
Yes.
Yeah, low key. And then if you don't know, just ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, they will assume that you know everything. But
Yes.
we Filipinos, we can figure it out. And yeah,
And yes, ma'am. Sometimes, like for example, I saw a group of teachers doing the decoration in the cafeteria or in the gym. I always, do you need help? Just ask me. Just call me if you need help. Something like that. I just want to help them. It's my way to be friendly and to be their friend as well.
yeah, volunteer, because that's how they know Filipino teachers. And then we don't say no, we always say
Yes.
yes. Right? Oh
Sure,
yeah, we
sure.
can do that. Yeah, no problem, we can do that. Although sometimes at the back of our head, like, I don't even know why did I say yes, right? But we will figure it out.
Yeah, at saka I just, ginawa ko rin siyang way kasi if you keep on talking with English speakers, mas masasanay ka. So parang
Correct.
ginawa ko, I want to learn. Gusto kong
Yeah,
masanay yun. Kaya ang
that's right.
ginagawa ko, usap lang ng usap. Pero ma'am, my school is a bilingual school. So it's a Spanish and English. So most of my co-teachers are Spanish.
Hispanic. Yeah. Yeah, because you're in Albuquerque. So
Yeah.
yes. And but then I believe your what you call this? Your somehow most of your students there are likely the same with the Filipino students as well.
Yeah. The
Right?
the,
They're
the physical appearance, they look like Filipinos. Yeah.
yeah, their behavior as well. But then they're not so. I mean, the students there are sometimes they are hesitant as well to talk. You know,
Mhm.
uh, that's what I learned from. That's what I heard from what most of the teachers there in Albuquerque. Yes, and we have a question from Miss Vanessa. How about in AZ? I believe she's referring to the teaching certificate, as we were talking about.
Um,
Yeah. How about in AZ for the teaching certificate? When I came
it's
here,
proud.
yeah, well, in when I came here in Arizona, 2018, my teaching certificate is standard certificate, and
Mm.
I think the expiration of my teaching certificate will be on 2033, if I'm not mistaken. But recently, I learned from some of the teachers, if you're here in Arizona, my time, we are during, I think it's our last batch, 2018, that we are allowed, I mean, that we need to get IELTS before we get here in Arizona. But later on, after that year, they said, okay, it's okay if you don't have your IELTS. I paid 25,000 pesos for the
Mm.
IELTS. Then after that, the next year they don't require it anymore. But then recently, I know, I've heard that those teachers coming here in the US, that going to teach in Arizona, they only have 1 year of international teaching certificate.
Mm.
So 1 year international, but my case it's standard and it's 2033, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, something like that. So it varies, and sometimes if you're going to teach here in Arizona, sometimes the Arizona Department of Education will put deficiency on your teaching certificate that you need to get Arizona Constitution and U.S. Constitution, and I took that too, those two subjects, AZ Constitution and U.S. Constitution, because it says on my, it's really on my teaching certificate. It's my deficiency, so I want that to be removed because I mean I'm not. I don't like seeing on my teaching certificate I have teaching deficiency. So I paid for that and I took that. So it's now gone, but it still have my 20 with the expiration the same year. And Sir Alfie said he'd like to buy of yours, Sir Artie. Yeah, he has. If you want, he also do TikTok all the time and his Facebook account. So if you
Thank
want
you so
to
much.
go,
Oh, sounds like LPRP. Thank you so much, sir.
yeah, his go. He has his own YouTube channel as well, and his he will be joining us here in the U.S. very very soon. He will be teaching in
Mhm.
Texas. Yes. And I have another question for you, Sir RP. So what about your classroom management? I know we know you're teaching SPED, so we have a lot of teachers, SPED teachers out there. What can you suggest?
Um, okay, I will share my classroom management here in America because I am a resource special education teacher here. So I don't have classroom, but I'm just pushing in then pull out. So yun lang yung aking trabaho. So nagpo-pull out lang po ako ng mga bata like maximum of 3 students. So napaka-manageable niya para lang kami small group something like that. So yung classroom management hindi mo siya may apply kasi we are tatlo lang sila yung maximum na bata ko. Pero siyempre, I always have a short orientation about the classroom management that I need to apply in my class. So, respect is always there. So teachers student how to respect teacher because here in America it's like we are the same. If even you are a student, then you are a teacher, you have the same rights. You have the same. We teachers are not allowed to scold them without reason. So
Mhm.
yung value of respect. So since I'm international teacher, I'm from other country. Please, kung respect me, then I will respect you. Then yung teaching style ko, Ma'am Ani, I always make sure na ayoko ng boring. I'm more of games.
Mhm.
Then I always, lagi kami nasa labas. Kapag kaya, halimbawa, yung sa isang lesson, ma'am, ay 1 week ko na siyang itinuturo. Tapos medyo na master na nila. Lumalabas kami ng gym. Doon kami naglalaro. Ah, mga competition games, something like that, para ma-enjoy ang mga bata. Tapos, sa classroom management kasi hindi ko siya ma-apply kasi nga minsan gang group, ano lang kami
Yeah.
ma'am, group, ano lang, small group lang. Basta yun lang. Just treat your students with respect para i-respect ka din nila kasi alam nila na wait, there are students, ma'am, na i-challenge ka talaga. Like for example,
Exactly.
yung first week ko, tatawanan ka kasi nila talaga kasi they are natatawa sa natin, sa accent natin.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
the very first day when I given a chance to teach as substitute teacher in that day, so yeah, I uh, I introduced myself, then I talked to them na I'm a Filipino teacher, so don't don't laugh with my accent because I'm not a legit English speaker, so bear with my accent. So anyways, my job here is to teach you. So I will do my best just to give you the quality education that you deserve. Alam na,
Yeah.
I'm a funny person, ma'am. Ay, minsan nagjo-joke din ako first para lang mabuhay sila. Then they find it very friendly kaya wala naman akong problema so far.
Yeah, because sometimes the kids, they have to get out from the teaching process as well. They love jokes. They love as well the times that we get too loose about
Okay.
the curriculum that we are applying.
Yeah. Bibigyan ko na lang kayo ng tips po dahil pero as based on my observation with my co-teachers in my local teachers, um, you have to build your classroom routine every day para less yung pagod nyo kasasalita. Kasi meron akong teacher na ina-admire ko siya. She's very good in classroom management. Pag sinabing siya yung teacher na yun, ang mga bata talagang gaganon na. Nakita ko siya na she's very organized person. She follows what is their classroom rules. Tapos kung ano talaga yung nakasulat ng susundin. Kung may kasalanan yung bata mo, binibigyan niya ng punishment. Assure ko
Mhm.
lang ma'am, nagbigay ako ng punishment dito. Kapag after that, tatakot ako, sabi ko dati. Kasi nagsab ako ng math. Tapos, there's a child, one student, nagawa ng eroplano. Then in the middle of discussion, nagpalipad.
Mhm. Then
Yung
what
ginawa ko,
happened?
yung ginawa kong punishment sa Pilipinas, nagawa ko sa bata. So, ang ginawa ko naman, pero I'm aware of my action. Kaya, ano, dahil naisip ko yun agad na, oh, baka hindi pwede ito sa Amerika. Ano, parang iniliko ko siya. Sabi ko sa bata, boy, come here. Do you like airplanes? Yes, mister. Oh, wait, I have 100 pieces of papers here. Can you make 100 airplanes for me? Hindi niya alam na punishment ko na yun sa kanya. Okay, you are exempted with my test. You are exempted with my activities. Just make 100 airplanes. Then in the middle of discussion, Mr. Castellano, I'm tired. Are you tired? Just continue. I need 100 paper airplanes. Then after the class, nagpunta siya sa akin. Mr. Castellano, I give up. I cannot make it. Oh, see? But anyway, since you followed my instruction, this is your chocolate for following my instructions. So, doon lang, tapos na-realize niya na mali yun. So, every time na magsasabi ko sa kanya, sa section niya, hindi na siya mag-aeroplano. Oh boy, are you going to throw airplane? No, mister. I will not do it anymore. Good. Alam ko na mali yun, pero nailoko ko siya na na-realize niya na he was wrong. Something like that.
Yeah, your it's your own discretion about your punishment, about everything, but it doesn't apply all the time to the students. And then, as if you're a new teacher, I really recommend you read as well the school's handbook, this the student's handbook, and at the same time the staff's handbook, because there are their what you call this, their way of punishment here is different from
Yeah.
the one that we are using in the Philippines. And the kids here are really they value the kids, they value the education and everything. So especially if you're dealing with elementary students or elementary pupils, you need to make sure that when you're dealing with them and when you're punishing them, you are not really doing like against the law. It's different, so we
Yeah.
should be very careful with
Yeah,
that.
sa pag manage kayo, don't do the physical or don't touch your student.
No,
Even
not
in
at all.
verbal, watch your words kasi iba sila mag-take ng mga salita natin. So just filter your words. Hangga't maaari ay ano pa, yung parang ano, yung nagsesermon ka pero sa tingin mo naman ay yung ano tawag dun, yung parang kino-convince mo lang siya na mali siya, something like that. Parang ganun.
Yes.
Pero basta be
In my
professional.
in my case, what I'm doing when it comes to classroom management, I you just need to be very consistent in my classroom, because of course you're a sped teacher and you only have small group of students. In my case, I have a large group of students. So, well, not large, 15 to 20 students. It's different, regular class. And then you need to start strong on your very first day. You need to introduce what they need to what they need to what are your expectations in your classroom, and ask them in return what are your expectations in my class as well. Your expectations, that's the very boring ever day for the students. On your first day, they're very quiet. You're discussing all your expectations, you're discussing your routines, you're discussing
Yeah.
your rules and everything. They are just listening, but then actually they're just there physically, but sometimes they're not really present mentally. But then you need to tell that to the students. These are my expectations, and then what I am really giving a very big deal, or a very I keep on repeating them, and then I posted it on my wall. There are three three-way, I mean, three steps, not steps, but how do I call it? But three things that I'm doing if they're very disruptive in my class. First, if you are disruptive in my class, I'm going to tell you to stop, but I'm going to tell it to you in a nice way. I'm going to tell you the reasons why is it you need to stop. For example, I'm having my lesson and then she's doing something else, or she's, some the kids love to kick the desk in front of them, like, or playing something. So I'm going to tell her, stop what you're doing right now because you are actually disturbing your classmates already. So if I were you, you better stop that so that everybody can listen to my class. But then I'm not going to say it out loud in the class. I'm going to tell her in a nice way, and I'm going to, proximity. I need to go get closer to her. After that, if you need to explain to the students why she needs to stop, because the students, they don't understand. Sometimes I even tell myself, this is your language. How come you don't understand? But they're kids. That's why they're in school. So you have to explain, you have to stop that because I'm doing a lesson. If you're doing that, you're disturbing everyone. They don't know that. They don't know that, honestly, that they are disturbing the class. So you have to explain. Second time around, if she's still, or if he is still doing, being disruptive, so I'm going to call her attention at the back already. But then when I call her name or call his name, go at the back, I am doing it like in the most not secret way, but then just whisper, can I talk to you at the back, something like that. Then at the back, I'm going to tell her that if you will still continue this, I am going to move you to a different room. I'm going to send you to my buddy teacher. And the moment you will do that the moment I will move you to my buddy teacher, I am going to email your parents, or I'm going to call your parents, or at the same time I'm going to send a referral to you that
Yeah.
you need to be in the behavioral resource center. So that's my second procedure already. And then when you tell them you're going to call the parents or email the parents, you need to do that. Because if you don't, and then the following day they will tell, oh, you didn't call my parents, oh, you didn't call my mom, and then the same thing, they will do it again. So who's going to lose? You, because you did not do what you told them that you are going to call your mom, but you get busy, you did something else. So you need to be consistent. And on the third time, if he's still disruptive, that's the time that I'm going to send him to my buddy teacher, or sometimes not buddy teacher, I'm going to call the office and send him for a referral already. So that's the process. They know already. If you are doing that consistently, they know your process already. But you should not be unfair to your students, because if you're unfair, then that will be taken against you.
Yes.
For
So
example,
actually, ma'am, that strategy, yeah, it's a school strategy as well, miss. Yung na-observe ko sa mga regular teachers, yeah. First offense, talk outside. Second offense, yeah, referral, something like that. So just follow the school rules when it comes to managing the behavior of your students.
yeah, it's based on you how you deal with your students. And
Yes.
also, what I mentioned about being unfair. For example, when it comes to your seating arrangement. So for example, I mean, I myself, I'm the one doing my seat plan, and then one of my students will say, I don't want to sit beside him, or I don't want to sit beside her. Can I move to a different spot? The moment you allow that student, and then there's one more student that will, that
Yeah.
will,
Will follow, will ask you, why did you allow her? Something
yeah,
like that.
why is it you allow him and you did not allow me? That's unfair, blah blah blah, something like that. So no. So sometimes, I get some sometimes I'm playing around, and then I will just ask my students as well, how about her? Did you ask her if she wanted to sit beside you? But just playing around. But I'm not recommending that you will say that. If you know already your student, if you think you can make joke already, then go. But then if you're not, then don't, because that might be taken against you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, just being consistent, that's the most important thing of the classroom management. I have one more. I have another question, Sir RP. Was there a time that the student disrespect you in the classroom?
Oh, yes, there are many times actually. But as I always say, it depends on you as teacher on how are you going to deal with that kind of students. So
Mm-hmm.
um, there are students who are not following my instructions. There are students who are not. I mean, they are very disruptive. So I have always this strategy na I will talk to him in the class, but I
Mm-hmm.
am going to let him realize what he is doing inside of the classroom. What will be the effect on that action to the whole class? So, what do you think the reason? What do you think the effect? What do you think the what will happen to us if you are going to do that continuously, something like that? So, yeah, but I will not take it negatively kasi ayoko ng stress. So, ang ginagawa ko talaga, ma'am, after I will not end that class without finishing that problem. So,
Mm-hmm.
if there is a problem in the middle of your discussion, address it right away.
Correct. Address it right away. Don't wait for the time that you're going to deal with tomorrow.
Pag pinalipas mo, sasabihin, ay, okay na kay sir. Ay, go
They
next.
will not remember it as well.
Yeah.
They will not remember it. So deal it deal with it right away. Right? Okay. And we have here from Sir Alfie. I'm poor in remembering students' names. Any suggestions?
You
See,
know, Sir Alpi, that's my, ginagawa ko siyang libangan. Parang naging challenge sa akin. Dapat for the first week, memorize ko na ang mga bata ko. Ginagawa ko siya. As in sa first day ko, iniisa-isa ko yun. What's your name? Try ko siyang i-recite isa-isa. Parang ginagawa ko siya. Tapos parang kasi ang hirap naman magtawag ng bata pag di mo ano ang pangalan. Halimbawa, hey boy, hey Mr. Anak boy, call me my name, something like that. I don't know
yeah.
you.
Yeah, they
So, name time.
the kids here in the US, they feel valued if you know their names. If you don't know their names, and you're not going to get their respect. So for this, Sir Alfie, I'm really good in remembering students' names, especially if I am seeing them every day. But then right after they move to eighth grade, I know she's my students. I know they're my students, but I forget their names right away because I don't see them often. But my suggestion is make your own, like I said, make your own seat plan. And then your seat plan every time you check your attendance, because every day, first thing in the morning, we do attendance. So you do attendance, you do it with their names. Okay. You really have to call it out. We don't, I don't recommend calling their names together with their last name because their last names are so difficult to pronounce, you know. But then just the first name, that will make them happy already. So make your seat plan, write their names. And first week, what I'm doing is I really ask them to make their name tags. Not that it's me who will make their name tags, but first day I am going to give them, like, the white paper, the bond paper, and then I'm going to ask them to make like a triangle and write your names. Like, this somehow, like, their names, you put it on your desk so they feel like being that they're working at the office. You have their names there at the front of them. And then every day I am telling them, okay, you have to put that on your desk every day so that I will know you. It's like 20 of you, 30 of you, and then I have 5 classes. I can't remember all of you. But of course, even though you will tell them, okay, you have to keep it so that you can use it tomorrow, the following day they're not okay. The following they will what to call this, they will forget about that. Okay. All right, so that's my suggestion. And is it right now, Sir RP?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Oh my
so
God. Pero ayoko sanang umalis pero sarap 'tong kuwentuhan natin 'no, pero
it's all right, we can do it again next time. I understand. I mean,
invite me again, man.
and my bad, I don't know. I did not really ask if you have a question, but
Masarap
Sir
nga yun
RP,
actually, ang sarap ng kuwentuhan natin.
yeah, we're here already for an hour and a half. Sir RP has his class already.
Yes.
To finish his master's in SPED, but I can stay here. I can still answer some questions, and it's so nice to have you here, Sir RP.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I yeah.
yeah. Just I'm free all the time. Just ask me, okay? If you need guests or chika-chika lang, just message me, ma'am. So
Sure,
guys, thank
sure.
you so much. May
Thank you
class
so
po kasi
much,
ako ngayong,
RP.
as in late na ako ng 2 minutes. At reporter
Okay.
pa pala ako.
I'm so sorry about that. But thank you so
Guys,
much, RP. It's so
yeah,
nice to have you here.
yeah. Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night. All right. And we have, okay, so it's just me here, guys. So I hope you will stay here. And we have question from Miss Josel. Is there a case that you've experienced a racist parents, co-teacher, or pupil? Um, yes, you could not really, you could not really get away from that. But then what can I suggest is just, just leave it like that. You did not go here because you want to make friends with them. I mean, yes, we want to have friends, we want to be helpful with our co-teachers and everything, but then at least you try to be friends with them, especially with your co-teachers. You will really feel it that if you are not welcome. But then if you're not welcome, then that's fine. They're not the people that will give your salary, as long as you're doing your job. Yes, it's tough, especially on your first year. If you will experience that, you will feel like being belittled or whatever. But then just to think that you're doing this not because for them, you're doing this, you're going abroad, you're teaching here in the US because you want to have, greener pastures, you want to be successful in your career. So just don't mind them. If you, the moment you try being friends with them, and then they don't like you, then it's okay. As long as you're doing your job, they are not going to deduct your salary because you are not friends with them. So just deal with yourself, just to focus on your teaching. Parents, yes, definitely. I experienced that as well, but you have to handle it professionally. If you think the parents are not being respectful to you, or you think you are being belittled already, if you think you don't need to reply to their email or you don't need to reply from their text, go and ask help from your admin, because sometimes most of the time your admin will also tell you that yes, you don't need to reply to these persons or to these parents. We will be the one to handle that, because you're a teacher, you're a professional, so you should handle that professionally as well. So I'm not recommending that you are going to go beyond already. If you think you are being harassed vocally, so I would suggest you're not going to go on with that. Let your admin deal with it, right? And also pupils. Yes, pupils, students, that's normal here in the US. And then but then, like I said, you have to handle that professionally. If you think it's being too much already, then that's the time that you are going to refer the kids or the students to the behavioral resource center. And on my first year, I was able to experience that. But as I go along, I'm okay with that. I already heard those, so I'm fine. Like I said, I don't go here because I want to be friends with you guys. I was here. I'm here because I wanted to teach. I want to earn money. I'm doing this for my family. And we have yes, thank you so much, Miss Laura. Miss Laura, discussions are very informative. Thank you so much as well. And then we have Eston, Sir Eston. Hello, ma'am. I'm a fresh graduate of education, and one of my dreams is to teach students international. Can I ask for advice? What are the best things to do? If you want to teach here in the U.S., you're a fresh graduate. Congratulations. And I believe you need to have at least 2 years of experience before you can teach here in the US. Get your licensure examination. Then after that, make sure you have your experience at least 2 years, and you can start your application already here in the US. All right. And thank you very much, Sir RP. Yes, and the viewers. Like I said, Sir RP he has his class right now. He's taking his master's degree in SPED. So if you want to use that track as well, if you think you're not successful. No one is looking at your resume, even though you're applying for 3 years already. So why don't you use or follow the track of Sir RP? He enrolled himself as a SPED teacher, and right now he's here in the US teaching SPED students in Albuquerque. All right. So any more question, guys? Thank you so much as well, Iston. And I hope I was able to answer your questions. And we would love to have you here in the US as well. And let's see. I'm going to check because there are teachers that have questions here on my Facebook. I mean, they have questions, but sometimes I don't have the time to answer their questions. But let's see. Uh, there are a bunch of people, teachers, trying to message me, but sometimes I don't really have the chance to reply. um One question, on your first year, your first day, there was actually a question: how are you going to deal on your first day of teaching? Like I said, you have to be consistent. Don't let or don't let your student realize or feel that you are not prepared, that you are hesitant because you're from the Philippines and they're from the US. No, you are the teacher in that classroom. You are the person of authority in your classroom. In your classroom, you do whatever you want. That's why in your first year, on your first day, you should start strong. Because if you don't, the problem is that they will just realize that, oh, she is not like this teacher, she will do that. The students can also feel if you know how to manage your class. The students can also feel, they will feel if you know how to handle them. The students will feel if you know how to manage the class, or if you are just waiting for them to tell you what to do. Okay, so as a teacher, you're the person of authority in your classroom, so you do it your way. You do whatever you want, but then you have to make sure that you read the student's handbook, the staff's handbook, because this is your way of being confident. You're new, you don't know what's going on. So in order for you to be educated, well educated of what you're doing, read the students in the staff's handbook. Yes, and then first day, like I said, you need to have your routines, you need to have your classroom expectations. Why do you need this? Like I said, these students need to be reminded. Every first day of my school, I always ask my students how to put their trash away. Because I mean, the reason why I do this, because they don't know how to put the trash properly. They don't know how to throw it away. Sometimes if they're done doing, if you have a school classroom activities, they need to cut something, they will just leave their trash there. But then sometimes what they're doing is they do it, they crumple the paper and then just throw it or shoot it in the trash can. But it shouldn't be. So most of the time on my first day, and also first day of the second semester, I'm going to ask someone, can you stand? For example, this is a trash. What are you going to do? How are you going to put this away? So I will make a demonstration. I will stand up, get the trash, stand up, and then put it in the trash can. Because if you don't do that, they will just keep on throwing things, or they will just keep on throwing papers all over your classroom. So those are the simple things that you may think that's just simple. How come they don't know that? Because these kids need to be reminded. Because most of the time their parents are working. Okay, they're working. I mean, if you get here, you will understand what I mean, why they need to work. They're working, so most of the time they will just see each other during lunch, I mean, during their dinner time. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes when they arrive, their kids are sleeping already. So no one will tell them that. No one will tell that to them except their teachers. So that's why you're there, because you need to remind them. You stand as their second parents. And you were there because those parents entrust you to teach or to teach their kids. And also, most of the classrooms, they have Google, what you call this, Chromebooks, or they have their own computers. In my case, what I'm doing first day, I put numbers on the desks. Okay, so for example, I have 25 desks, so I put numbers on each desk, and then those numbers I will put no, I mean I will put numbers as well on my Chromebooks or my computer. So whoever sits on desk number one will have the same number with their Chromebook or computer. So they will have the same number all the time. Every time I ask them for their Google for their Chromebook, okay, so line up, you have to get your computer. So row one. So all row one will stand up and then they will get their computers. So they as time goes by, they will remember what's the number of their computer already or their Chromebook. So that's the Chromebook that they're going to use. Why I am doing that? This is for accountability. Because for example, number one computer is broken. The keyboards are broken. So whose fault is that? I'm not saying it's someone's fault, but there are five classes. You don't really know who did that. So, but at least you have in mind that these kids are number one. So you held them accountable. You asked them, or where are you going to start your to ask questions. Who did this? Who did that? Something like that. And then here in the US, I noticed that most of the kids, when they hear the bell, so, for example, you're doing your class and you're not yet done with your class. They hear the bell right away. They will just stand up and then go get their backpacks and go and leave the classroom and go outside because they only have 5 minute passing period. But what I'm doing in my case, I told them it's not the bell that will dismiss you, it's me who will dismiss you. So even though they hear the bell, they have to wait for me to call, okay, row one, you may go. Row two, you may go until we reach row six. Sometimes they hate me for doing that, but later on they realize that it's the right way to do that so that they will not get, stampede outside, I mean, by the door, or getting their backpacks and it's too crowded. And then they realize, oh, yeah, this is the right thing to do. We do it by rows. Or sometimes if they're not, if I held them accountable, like I said, if they're not doing my expectations. Okay, because you did not do this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to call you one by one to get out from my classroom. Sometimes it may take a while, especially if they only have 5 minute passing period. So I will just email the staff that I'm sorry, period three, we're late because I did this, I did that, something like that. And then you have to be very consistent with what you were doing when you let your students came in. Sometimes they don't know how to act. And then what I observe as well, what I realize when they get inside your classroom, they're really talking and talking and talking and talking. You will not really expect them to be quiet all the time, but then you have to settle them when they're inside the classroom already. So sometimes, 21 times to keep on repeating it to make it perfect. So sometimes, I mean, on my first 7 days, if they cannot perfect it to get inside the right way in my classroom, I'll let them go outside again. Okay, let's do it again. If you can't handle it, if you don't know how to get inside in my classroom the proper way, we'll go back outside again. And they hate that. They hate going back and forth. So you have to be very consistent with that as well. So even though it's a lot of work, 7 days of being consistent, or 21 days of being consistent, that's fine. That 21 days, I'm telling you, will help you for the rest of the year. Because if you do not know how to be consistent on that 21 days, I'm telling you, you will really suffer on, the whole year of your teaching in that particular school. So 21 days, it's okay. But then after that, they know the drill, they know the routines, they know what to do. So you're good to go. So the only secret for you to be successful is being consistent. And also always be prepared. Even though it's my 4 years of using the curriculum already, but still, even though I memorized it already, I still review and review and review. And then I will just realize that, oh, I was not able to see this last year. So it's a good thing that you review your lessons as well. And even though I am, like I said, there are still students that will really correct me how I am pronouncing the words. And I told them that's fine with me. I'm not I'm not native here. This is not my language. So I'm okay if you're going to correct me. And then I will correct you in return as well. But then this is because I'm here. The reason why I'm here because I'm going to teach you. So be very consistent, and you should be very fair with your students as well, because if they see any reasons not to respect you, they will take it against to you, right? So you need to make sure that they understand it as well. If you present your expectations, ask them as well, what are your expectations to me? What are your expectations in my classroom? And yes, ELA, it's reading. Most of them, they find it boring. But then I'm a middle school teacher, so I really find ways to sometimes, get out from the curriculum. I find fun activities that will engage them, because an hour or 55 minutes in the classroom, it's really really difficult sometimes. So you need to be very careful with that as well. And then we have, let's see, from what did Miss Young said? It would be a great help if we can watch videos of Kathleen, Jasper, and Pocket full of primary to give Pocket full of primer to give us walkthrough on US setup. Keep on watching videos of Ma'am N to give you confidence that we can thrive as Pinoy teacher. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Miss Yolin. And I mean, yeah, the videos are helpful, but then of course you, if you're here already and you experience it yourself, it will really help you as well. And like I said, first year is tough, but from your first year, you need to take note. I mean, evaluate yourself at the end of the school year. What did I do? Was I successful on this? Did I do it well? Something like that. And also, you need to be very careful as well on dealing with what you call this, dealing with students as well, because sometimes your words will be taken against you. So if you need to talk to the students, if you need to talk to them, do it in a nice way as well. It's not that because this student, you will just say whatever you want to say, because excuse me, because sometimes or most of the time words will be taken against from you. And not to mention as well the social media. I have my YouTube channel, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, but I never shared it to my students because I'm a middle school teacher. We had this. We signed at the district office that you are not going to something get attached with the students through social media. That's why if you're going to take a look at my Facebook account, I don't really share pictures of my students because we're not allowed to. And of course, they are still minors. They are considered minors. So you are not allowed to teach or to post pictures of their faces. Even I'm a J1 Visas teacher, so the my visa sponsor is asking for a report every year. So even though it's our visa sponsor and we have to send a report, the pictures of our students are covered, right? Because we are not really allowed to do that. And like I said, because you're minors. With high school, sometimes it's okay, but still you have to be very careful with that because not all the time they are allowing you to post their pictures. So I don't really do that. I mean, sometimes I really want to, but I love my profession. I love teaching here, so I don't want to waste an opportunity given to me. So it's up to you if you want to. I mean, sometimes it's really good to share pictures, how you are dealing with them, how good are you with your teaching career here. But it's between your career and the pleasure of posting your students' pictures in your social media. And I don't really share my YouTube channel to them because I don't want them to keep on bugging me because especially for those students that like me that hey, can we subscribe to your channel? Something. No, they don't. So my personal social media, it's really out. They don't know about that. Okay, so we are almost 2 hours here in our YouTube live, and I'm not sure if we still have questions that I need to answer. And I'm just hoping that Sir RP and I we were able to answer your questions, guys, especially to those. teachers, though, I every day I am accepting like 25 requests of teachers that wanted to join the Facebook group. But then I'm doing this live, and sometimes only a few are attending. I'm doing this live not because for myself, but because I want to help, especially those new teachers. So I hope you can invite them as well, and I hope you will. You can also, like, tell me what time is the right time that we can do live, so that we have a lot of teachers here. All right. So, any questions that I will try to answer, because, like I said, we're almost 2 hours here. It's 7:55 my time, and I know for sure you have to deal as well. If you're in the Philippines, you have to prepare for your lunch, and it's Monday. I'm no, it's Sunday, I believe. Yeah. So, any question, guys? If you don't have any questions, then I believe it's the right time for me to say goodbye. Well, not goodbye, because we're going to see each other again. I am hoping that I can do live again on the 29th with Sir Paul again, one of my best friends, and Miss Sheena, if you remember them. Why I want to guest Paul again, because he had his training already for 2 days. So we're going to ask him what was his experience, his first month or first 2 weeks in his school, something like that. And me that getaway, I really appreciate this, watching from Vietnam. Yes, hello people from Vietnam. And yes, I hope I was able to help you with this YouTube live, and not only you but all the viewers that are here. Thank you for spending your time with me, guys, and I hope I was able to help you. I was able to answer your questions, and thank you so much, Sir RP, for being with us. Sorry you're late for 4 minutes in your class, but I hope that will not take it against you. And yes, Miss Chet, thank you so much as well. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you for everything. Yes, me that got away. If you scan my YouTube channel, there's a bunch of videos. Up front, it's my YouTube live, but then below that, if you scan, there's actually a lot of videos how you are going to prepare yourself of teaching here, how to do your resumes and everything. So if you have time, you can try to scan my YouTube channels. And Miss Maria, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with me and with Sir RP. And I hope, guys, I will see you again in my YouTube live. And if you want, you can post questions as well, so that I can take note of that, and we're going to answer that on our next YouTube live. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, Miss Gabby. Yes, I hope you were able to message Sir RP, and so that he can help you with the going path, or going to the sped path. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, guys. And I hope I will see you again on our YouTube live. I'm going to update you on our Facebook page. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Have a good day. Bye.